Okay, students, let us start our next topic, that is commercial mathematics. In commercial mathematics, we have certain topics that we have to discuss. In this, we will use the topics which we generally use in our daily life, like percentage, profit, loss, and many others like variations, average. Okay, speed, time, distance. Let us first start percentage. You have to start with percentage. In percentage, as the name suggests itself, per cent. That means for every 100. Every time you have to calculate percent, you have to calculate on every 100. Why do we use percentage? First, percentage is used for comparing quantities. As I say that I got 80% marks, or for example, if you are given that a person A got 80 out of 200, a person got 80 out of 200, and another person got 400 upon 500. Now you have to tell whose performance is better. Now to calculate performance, we have to calculate the numbers or marks that who has got more marks. But more marks from out of what? Out of, now here we can see that he has got out of 200 and he has got out of 500. So right now we can't compare them. So to compare them, let us compare them by a same basis. Like if we are calculating the marks of this A from 100 and also of this from 100. From 100 he get 40 marks and from 100 he get 80 marks. Is it or not? So we can say that he get 80% and he got 40%. Okay. Now we can say that 40% is less than 80%. So the performance of B is better than A. Okay. So in this way you can use percentage in our daily life. Okay. For calculating the performance on number of marks result. Now percentage, that means per 100. Everything you have to given, you have to calculate this for per 100. For every 100, out of 100 how much is it? Okay. For example, if I am saying that 7%, by 7% I mean 7 upon 100. If I am saying 2%, then I am saying 2 per 100. Okay. If I am saying 1, and I have to calculate percentage for this. As I can see that 1 is a fraction, but is a whole fraction. That means it covers 100%. Okay. If I am saying 2 by 3, that means 2 by 3. If I have to calculate percentage for fraction 2 by 3, or I have to change 2 by 3 into percentage, then I can say that 2 by 3% will be given by 2 by 3 into 100. Okay. He has got 3 out of 2. So out of 100 he will get 2 by 3 into 100, that is 66 under 2 by 3 percentage. Okay. In this way you can calculate. Okay. Now next, sometimes you have to convert the percentage into fraction, or to fraction into percentage, or fraction to decimal, or decimal into percentage, or percentage into decimal. So let us take some examples. Like if we have to convert 10% into fraction, then I'll say 10% is equal to 1 upon 10. Okay. If I am saying 50%, by 50% I mean 50 out of 100, that means 1 out of 2 or half. Okay. If I am saying 33 and 1 by 3%, 33 and 1 by 3% means 33 and 1 by 3 out of 100, that means 1 upon 3. Okay. Next, if I have to calculate 14.28%, 14.28%, that means 14.28 upon 100, that means 1 by 7. Okay. 11.11% is equal to 1 upon 9. 12.5%, that means 1 upon 8. Okay. In this way we can calculate. Let us do some good examples on basis of percentage. Write down first example. If a number is increased by 10%, if a number is increased by 10% and then reduced by 10%, and then reduced by 10%, What is the percentage change in the number? What is the finally percentage change in the number? What is the percent change in the number? Now generally students say that sir, as we have decreased the number by 10%, first we have increased the number by 10% and then decreased the number by 10%, then normally students say that the number is again got the original position, that means no change in the number, original number. But if we see, then let us for solving, let us assume that the number was 100. Let the number was 100. If the number was 100, then by increasing it 10%, I will get 110, because I am calculating for per 100. So the new number will be 110. Now if I am reducing it by 10%, that means 10% of 110, 10% of 110 will be given by 11. That means I am reducing the number now by 11. So the new number is 99. That means the original number was 100 and the new number is 99, and I have calculating all on per 100. So the number will be decreased by 1%. 1% decreased. Total change will be given by 1% decrement. Okay. In this way we can solve the given sum. Okay. Method second. That means if you don't have to assume the number as 100, you can assume the number as x only. Okay. Let us assume the number that is, let us we have the number as x, and let the number be. If the number was x, then I had increased 10% of x. 10% of x, that is 10 by 100 into x, or you can say x by 10. Now increase the number, that means increase the number, that means I have increased the number as, now the new number is x plus x by 10, or you can say 11x by 10. Now decrement in the number by 10%. 10% of this number will be given by 10 upon 100, that means 11x upon 100, that means 0.11x. So I have decreased the number 11x by 10 by 11x by 100. In this sense the new number will be given by 99x upon 100, or you can say 0.99x. Okay. In this way we can see that the change in the number is given by 1%. Okay. Again, x minus 0.99x is 0.01x, that is out of x, so out of 100 it will be 1%. So 1% decrement is there. Okay. In both the ways you can solve the sum, and we also have a direct formula for that. In this case, if we are increasing a number by some percentage and then we are decreasing the number by the same percentage, then we can use a formula that is given by loss is equal to r by 10 whole square. That means r is the number, r is the percentage that we have changed, we have increased first and then we have decreased. We can use this formula for only this type of question. Let us do another example on the percentage. Let we have write down, if a number is increased by 10%, if a number is increased by 10%, then by what percent it should be? Then by what percent it should be decreased to get the original number? To get the original number. Okay. Now number is increased by 10%. Again, we have two methods to solve this sum. First method is, again, let us assume the number is 100, or you can assume the number is x. I will assume the number as 100. If I have assumed the number is 100, then by increasing it by 10%, I will get a number that is 110. Now I have to decrease this number by some percentage so that I could get 100 back. Okay. Now let us reduce this number by x%. That means I am reducing this number by 1.1x. So the new number will be 110 minus 1.1x, and I will get 100 back. That means I can say 10 is equal to 1.1x, or you can say x is equal to 10 upon 1.1. Okay. That means 100 upon 11, or you can say 9.09%. Okay, let us do some more examples on the basis of percentage. Write down A's salary is 20% less than B's salary. 20% less than B's salary. By what percent B's salary is more than A's salary? Again, general students say that if A salary is 20% less than B salary, that means B salary is 20% more than A salary. No, we are wrong. If you are doing same, then we are wrong. As if we are saying that A salary is 20% less than B salary, then the basis is B here. B salary is basis here. That means we are to compare from B salary. Now, if we are saying how much B salary is more than A salary, then basis is now A salary. Now we have to calculate on A salary. So to solve this sum, let us assume that B salary, let B salary be 100. I will assume B salary is 100 rupees. Now if B salary is 100, then A salary will be 80 rupees. As A salary is 20% less than B salary, so A salary will be 80 rupees. Now if A salary is 80 rupees, then and B salary is 100, so I can see that B salary is 20 rupees more than A salary. These 20 rupees, if we are taking A as the base, then we can say that 20 upon 80, 20 out of 80. Now I have to calculate percentage, so I have to multiply by 100 and I'll get 25%. Okay, so B salary is 25% more than A salary. Okay, in this way we can solve the given sum. Now let us do the next sum. It is given to us as if the price of the sugar is rises by 2%, the price of the sugar is rises by 2%, or let us say 20%, then by what? Then by what percentage the consumption must be reduced so that there is no change in the expenditure. There is no change in the expenditure. Now see, to solve these types of sum we have various methods. Let us talk about the first method. Normal method. Let us assume that the original price of 100 kg sugar was rupees 100. That means 1 rupee per kg is the sugar. That is not possible. Okay, well, let us assume. Now as the prices are rises by 20%, so now the price of 100 kg sugar is 120 rupees. Is it or not? Now as we can see that the price of sugar is now 120 for 100 kg. Okay, price of sugar is 120 rupees for 100 kg. So in 1 rupee we can get 100 upon 120 kg sugar. Is it or not? So in 100 rupee I have to expend only 100 rupees. I was expending only 100 rupees on sugar, so right now I also have to expend only 100 rupees. So in 100 rupee I can get 100 upon 120 into 100 kg sugar. Is it or not? So 100 kg sugar, that means 250 upon 3 kg sugar. First I was getting 100 kg sugar and now I am getting 250 upon 3 kg sugar. So the percentage change in sugar is 100 minus 250 upon 3, that is 50 upon 3 kg sugar. Okay, so 50 upon 3 kg sugar out of, or you can say directly 50 upon 3 kg sugar, it is from 100 itself, so it will be given by 16 under 2 by 3%. The method second for this type of solution is Let us given a formula E is equal to P into CX, that is expenditure is equal to price into consumption. In second case we have E dash is equal to P dash into C, where E dash is equal to new expenditure, P dash is equal to new price, and C dash is equal to new cost. Here we have P dash is equal to 120 upon 100 P, that means 20% rises. So P dash is equal to 100. Now we have to calculate C dash, and our expenditure is same. Okay, so by putting the value from first formula, we have P into C is equal to 120 upon 100 P into C dash. From here P will be cut by P, so C dash will be equal to 100 upon 120 C. Okay, that means 1 by 6 into 100, that means, so C minus C dash is 100 upon 6 or 16 and 2 by 3%. That's all. Thank you.